There's people who listen to talk and people who listen because they want to listen.
Jam, 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 jam.
Hi, this is Jenn Kidd, and you're watching the Jam interview.
All right, Jen, so what's your story?
I recently turned 40 and kind of reevaluated everything in my life and left a career, and am now doing a whole bunch of things that I love. I loved my career, but it just was time for a change. I don't know. I knew I was mentally ready. Kind of like I quit smoking a few years ago, and I wasn't ready until I just was, and then I was immediately. And that's how I feel about this. I wasn't ready to make a change, and then all of a sudden I just was very ready all of a
Right.
sudden, and it was time. So I guess a long time ago, I worked at a music venue in downtown Akron called the Lime Spider for many years. I have a teenager who's 15 and a half. He's going to be 16. He's very excited to drive. But I had my son while I was working at the Lime Spider, so I was like, figure out what I'm going to do with what am I going to do? So I went to school for hair and have had a really successful hair career for 13 years. I was very fortunate. I met amazing, amazing people and was able to raise my son and have a lot of great experiences. I was able to travel a lot and do a lot of cool things, work on some films and whatnot. Throughout that, I started getting sick and I developed allergies. Anyways, I'm basically allergic to doing hair. So last year it came to a head and I was like, I've got to figure it out. So I kind of left my career and I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it work. And I've kind of been in a place where I'm like, I love all of these things. How do I make it into a career? And it just sort of happens. So I'm currently the manager of Musica. I am a fashion photographer and portrait photographer. And I also deal with finished clothing. Also, it's negative 10 degrees in Ohio, and it's really cold right now. Sorry, I'm sniffling. The past 6 months, I guess for me, it's been a whirlwind of exploration and figuring out you can quit your job and leave your career and start over, and sometimes you end up where you're supposed to be doing the things you're supposed to be doing.
What is it like, now that you're on the other side of that, what is it like, working at Musica and not working with hair, being a hairstylist anymore?
Ultimately, I love people. I really like people. I'm a people person. I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
But I always excel at extroverted jobs. I'm very good at jobs that require a lot of energy and talking to a lot of people, but I genuinely love people. And that's one of the things I love about this and getting back into kind of the music venue world is that I get to meet so many different people from so many different places, create a space where people can connect, relationships can grow, and everybody can kind of be a part of something really positive and cool.
Throughout your 13 years of being a hairstylist, what was the skills that you picked up on about how to be a better people person / communicating with other people?
I learned to listen.
Yeah.
A lot. There's people who listen to talk and people who listen because they want to listen and hear people's stories. And I try to be mostly in the second group. Sometimes you
Yeah.
can't help it to be in the first part.
Right.
But just really kind of creating connections and finding common grounds. I feel like I can kind of take that here and do it in a different, bigger capacity where I'm able to kind of create a bigger experience for a lot of people at once.
Right.
It's nice because we have we have 5 bartenders now,
Yeah.
who all love people, love music, are from all over Akron, and just get super excited about what's going on. And I feel like that excitement is contagious.
What's, I guess, one of the future goals that you can share with what you want Musica to be?
We're going to be open 5 days a week by
Okay.
summer.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Happy hour Tuesday through Friday. We'll be open Tuesday through Saturday. And sometimes Sunday and Monday if there's shows going on. We're just adding a lot of new things. Some of it I can't talk about yet, but they're very exciting.
Right.
But adding seating, adding a lot of different drinks to the bar. I don't drink at all. I don't drink alcohol anymore. So we have a lot of non-alcoholic drinks. Attention, LaCroix, sponsor me. We're going to be doing a lot of theme events and getting sponsorships, and there's just some really cool stuff coming up. There's so much quality music out there, and especially locally, there's so many people doing such cool shit around here. I feel fortunate that we're able to have this space and be able to use that to help grow a lot of what's going on around here.
How are you finding ways to be able to connect more with the Akron community?
So I am a big fan of Akron. I think being a fan of Akron means being a fan of the people of Akron. everything's not perfect. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Akron that can really be fixed and can use a lot of help. But I think connecting with people in the community and seeing what people are doing throughout the community is what makes Akron amazing. Like there's certain people who I've met where I'm just like, man, like what you're doing is so fucking rad, and like you are able to lift up so many people, and like I want to help grow local talent and give people a platform and be able to kind of amplify voices that maybe otherwise wouldn't be amplified, if that makes sense.
And you've always had a connection to the concert going experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what was that first experience?
My first concert,
First concert and the love of music.
like when I really...
Right, when you realized
So
that.
growing up, my mom was a music teacher for 27 years.
Wow.
And she taught piano lessons. So I grew up on a lot of classical music with her. But then my dad was like hard rock guy. So like I grew up on like The Who and the Kinks and the Yardbirds and like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of had all of that. And then when I was younger, I kind of like in high school got into the punk scene a lot. And I used to go to like hardcore shows and punk shows and kind of that DIY sort of positive ethos. Even as a 40-year-old, I still kind of feel that. But I think I like to kind of carry that mentality with me to other genres and other shows. There's certain times where you know you see something and you're like, Jesus, like this is so big, like they're so amazing.
Right.
And that's such a good feeling to be able to like have that experience in this kind of smaller, deeper capacity and know that it's going to get big. And I felt like that about two people since I've been here.
Wow.
Do you want me to say who they are?
Go ahead.
Can I talk about Peach Curls for a minute?
Oh yeah, Peach Girls. Yeah.
Oh, Peach Girls. TJ is so, he blows my mind, man. The first time I saw him, I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He has like the voice of an angel.
Right.
And he's just cool, man. He's just super cool.
Yeah.
And there's this girl, this young lady named Josie from Canton.
Okay.
And they're called Old Love, OLDELOVE. And her voice is beautiful. And I think her, and I believe it's her boyfriend, are in this band Old Love, and their harmonies, and just, it's almost like they should be like touring with Esperanza Spalding. Like it was just, they're both, Peach Girls and them are so refreshing for what they do around here, because it's just not
Right.
what's going on a lot around here. And they're both amazing, so check them out, please.
Whole
Neither
bunch.
of them know that I'm
Plugging them right now.
I'm totally like. There's also a ton of hip hop around here that's really amazing and rad.
Yeah.
That I'm super excited to create a space for. Yeah, I love what Sway's doing. I love the Session Ohio. Like all those guys are doing amazing stuff. So yeah.
What space are you opening up in March?
So me and my friend Mindy Burton, she owns a vintage shop called the Sweetest Chill. So we are moving into the Everett building. You have no idea where I'm pointing at
Right.
because you're not here. I have a vintage shop called Seberg, Seberg. So we're both going to be selling our vintage out of there and doing styling, shopping and styling by appointment. And then also I do kind of portrait and fashion photography, and I'll be working out of that space as well. I've always been obsessed with historical fashion and vintage fashion.
Okay.
I've kind of studied historical fashion and the history of beauty for a long time. I just have always been so inspired by like editorial photography and creating visual experiences that involve clothing. I think in terms of photography.
Yeah.
And that's kind of last year when I realized I'm like, I need to just do it. But I'm working on creating kind of like a collaborative, kind of like a co-op or collaborative of photographers who do portrait and fashion photography. And there's such an amazing scene here of people who are like working together and inspiring each other and like supporting each other, that my goal is to be able to shoot some amazing work out of Akron. This kid, Eric, Snoozy Artistry, he's an amazing photographer. You're fucking fantastic. There's just like so many awesome. My friend Justin just moved back from New York. I'm inspired by them and excited to kind of create more of a scene here.
Well, plug all your social media and people, where people
Okay,
can find
so for Musica, we kind of started fresh with an Instagram, and that's where the most up-to-date information is, and it is the official Musica on Instagram. We're going to start having band takeovers, and there's a lot of cool stuff we're working on. Also, there's a bunch of good shows coming up, too. Next Friday's the Vindies. We have the Beyonders and Dreamers coming up on the 15th. Bethany Joy, who is an amazing, amazing singer-songwriter out of Akron. Her EP release show is on the 9th, February 9th.
Yeah.
Here. She has the voice of an angel. And also we're doing happy hour on Thursdays from 5 to 8. And each week I kind of have like a different DJ or a different theme. And it's just kind of cool. And it's free. So if you ever want to come check out Musica and you haven't really been here before, or just want to see what's going on, come on in for happy hour and just hang out. Thursday the 7th, I'm doing an all Clash happy hour for International Clash Day. My personal photography is on Instagram at, I think it's Jenn, JENNKIDD_. My website is www.jennkid.com.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamal.
No problem.
Thank you for watching. Keep jamming.